Hi everyone, welcome back to The Shelves Have Eyes. I'm Phantom, and today we'll be doing another Harry Potter Potions Miniverse kit. I believe this to be the Dragon's Blood kit. So let's open this up and see what we got. And here is everything that comes with this set. We have our cauldron with a stand, which is once again in that burnished bronze gold color, which the Amortentia was, so that's kind of interesting, 2 in a row. We've got another simmering container, which serves no real purpose, and that is the second one that I've received in a set, aside from the singular one that came with the potions classroom. Funnel, little bronze spoon, 2 multicolored powders, 2 vials or ampules, and this little sheet that says potion labels. We did indeed get Dragon's Blood, so let's take a look and see what this entails. Here's the inventory. It looks like you dump some of the orange powder into the cauldron. Decant 1 into 1 vial and then mix up more red for the second one. So you've got 2 different colors. You cure, put the labels on, and then you are done. So it seems very simple, so let's get started. So first, let's open up this cauldron. Once again, we'll be mixing all of the resin in this resin cup so that all you lovely people can see what we're doing. Well, Dragon's Blood seems to be continuing the trend of these Miniverse potions that aren't really potions. Dragon's Blood is a component in some potions, notably the wolfsbane potion, but it is not really an ingredient unto itself. Now, after the last few potions, I'm kind of afraid that they're not going to give us enough resin, so I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this cauldron before we actually begin mixing. I think that's all that's in there, really. So I'll put that off to the side. It says the first component is this. The instructions depict this as being yellow. This is very clearly an orange. So put a little bit of orange in here. And then we shall mix. Since this seems to be a fairly straightforward build, let's move on to lore. So Dragon's Blood has very little lore attached to it, really. It's mentioned in a few of the books, but doesn't really come to the fore in any meaningful way. Dumbledore is part of his prominence in the magical world, as was depicted on his chocolate frog card, was he found the 12 uses for Dragon's Blood. Whether that was through his specialization in alchemy under Nicholas Flamel, or whether that was just potioning or just general dithering about, which he seems to do a lot of. We're not really quite sure. Also, the 12 uses for Dragon's Blood are never really illuminated in the series. In supplemental media, there seems to be some kind of brouhaha between Dumbledore and another potion master alchemist who stated that he had discovered 8 uses of Dragon's Blood, but then Dumbledore took his notes and discovered the other 4. The only thing that we know in terms of the uses of Dragon's Blood, specifically that Dumbledore discovered, is Dumbledore discovered that the 12th use of Dragon's Blood was as an oven cleaner, which I guess infers that Dragon's Blood is an extraordinarily caustic substance. I believe he also states, or somebody states, that it's also used as a spot remover, which kind of goes along with that concept that it is a caustic substance, kind of like people in the 1920s and 1930s clean their clothes with gasoline back in the day, taking a very caustic substance and using it to get rid of stains and spots. Aside from that, we never really find any of the other uses for Dragon's Blood, although presumably one of them is in the wolfsbane potion. it is described as being one of the ingredients in Prisoner of Azkaban. There is never a clear statement on what color dragon's blood is. In the film series, dragon's blood is depicted as being green and also being depicted as being red. We're not really quite sure if that's just broken down by the kind of dragon that the blood comes from, because the Welsh green might presumably have green blood. In the film series, we get the one sequence in Half-Blood Prince where Dumbledore and Harry go to visit Professor Slughorn to resume his duties as potions master at Hogwarts. And while they are examining the gruesome, destroyed home that he is supposedly hiding out in, there's a puddle of blood on the floor. In the film series, Dumbledore tastes it and then determines that it is dragon's blood, not human blood. In the book series, that never happens, and in fact, he has to ask Slughorn where the blood came from, and Slughorn tells him that it's dragon's blood. That is it in terms of the mentions of dragon's blood in the series, book and film. It is not really ever illuminated, and we never actually see it in action. So take from that what you will. Very short lore section for this particular video. All right, so that looks pretty mixed up for the first color that they were asking us for. So let us decant some of this, half of this, into this vial, and then reserve half of it for the second color. And for the second half, they want you to add some of this pink powder in. I'll just mix this up quick to color it, which gives what we would assume to be a real dragon's blood kind of look to it. This may just be the blood serum and not the actual hemoglobin that is actually in the blood, which we see that makes it red. This is really just sparkling mica powder. There's nothing really special about it. There aren't any outrageous mix-ins like for some of the other sets. So this makes it very straightforward. So now we will open our second vial. I believe they actually gave us enough. Surprise, surprise. Maybe a little bit too much. I need to get some of it out of this vial because otherwise we're not going to be able to close it. I don't know if it's just the trick of the light, but this one looks like it's all collected. No, it's just a trick of the light. Never mind. All right, so these look like they are full and ready for the curing process. So let's do that quick. All right, so 10 minutes in the apparatus later, these are fully cured. Now we're just going to put the stoppers on death and affix the labels. All right, Miniverse, here's the problem. The problem is the label came off, but it still has some of the paper on it that now I need to manually peel off. And it was already difficult getting it off in the first place, and now I need to do even more. All right, that second one did come off a little easier than the first. There you have it. One of these has a label that says number 54 on it. I don't know exactly what that means, but there you have it. These are our 2 vials of dragon's blood that we brewed for reasons unknown. I guess you could say that maybe it needs to be pasteurized. I don't know. Suffice it to say, 2 vials of dragon's blood, done. All right, so for this particular set, I really don't have much to say. Much like other sets that don't really have much to them, such as Skelligro and some of the other ones, Armadillo of Bile and Infusion of Wormwood. These were even more simple than those. There were no chunky ingredients to these. It was just powders, just colorant. And then you decanted them into the vials, then you cured them, and that was it. And there really isn't anything particularly special about these vials. I mean, they're ampules and they're very nice. I actually really like the design of them. And I think that the labels are very nice. They're not the gum labels that they use for other sets. They're clear decals, much the same that they used for the Sugaring Skulls set for the Honeydukes, Harry Potter Honeydukes series. I do like the color. There is a definite difference, but I mean, that makes sense considering how it was made. They do look magical. For some strange reason, maybe it's the vessel, but these are particularly scintillating. They really catch the eye. They look very nice. I'm just wondering if maybe one of these caps is supposed to fit on one and the other one is supposed to fit on the other, because no, just one of these is just really easy to put a stopper in and the other one is a little bit more difficult. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I enjoyed this set. It's pretty. They're very cute. I really love the vials themselves. I think that this is an excellent vessel, and I really want to see more things with these in it. Like, I'd be willing to buy so many more of these just for the vial that I could put something in. But it was a no-brainer. There was no craftsmanship really to it. You just mix and then pour. There weren't even, like I said, there weren't even any chunky bits that I needed to redistribute with a toothpick after filling these vials. It was just a one and done. So for what this is, I enjoyed making it. I think that perhaps it is the laziest of the potion sets that I've done so far. But then again, we're really getting down to the end here. There are only 3 more sets left, 2 more sets left. This is just another one off the list. Oh, I do love these bottles, and I think they are very cute, and they do look very nice. So I don't want to be too harsh on this set, but it is extraordinarily simple. Not as simple as Mandrake, but pretty simple. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this video, please think about liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you'll know when the next video drops. I will be finishing this series and then probably moving on to the Lord of the Rings set. I hope you're enjoying the lore that I'm putting out for these videos. All I can say is we've hit 80 subscribers, and I cannot thank our viewers enough for kind of tuning into Chrissy and I's kind of weird nerdiness. So thank you very much to all of you. I've been Phantom. This has been The Shelf Have Eyes. Have a good night, y'all.